It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace Man, I was watching the closing credits of The Love Boat. Guess who wrote the theme song? Paul Williams. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Paul Williams, yeah. Quietly, one of the most interesting guys in show business. Wrote tons of big hit songs. Was in Smoking the Bandit.
Ooh.
Was also in a bunch of weird Brian De Palma movies, or at least one called Phantom of the Paradise. He had a really weird, eclectic acting career, and then wrote songs for Barbra Streisand.
Did you know he had a songwriting brother as well?
Interesting.
Mentor Williams wrote Dobie Gray's Drift Away.
Mentor
Williams, Paul's brother.
So he literally.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I just found it out a couple of days ago.
Mentored him.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. And for most of his life, he looked like Jodie Foster when Jodie Foster was 9.
Right.
They had the exact same hair. He looked like 9-year-old Jodie Foster. He's a little guy with like bangs and blonde hair.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
It's uncanny how much Paul Williams looked like Jodie Foster.
Okay.
But anyway, it's back when guys wore a few hats, back in the day.
They had to hustle.
Yeah, Mac Davis did that. He was like a songwriter. He was a singer. He was an actor. Like, they had a lot of that back then.
I actually appreciate that. Like, you want to have a little hustle.
No,
you want to have somebody that has like drive and not like a jack of all trades. Clearly, he was musically talented, or creatively talented. But like, lean into that. Do the things. Give it a shot.
I'm with you, my dear. All right, you got some news?
I do.
What do you got?
Well, did you hear about this Saudi Arabia comedy festival?
I did, and there was a funny TikTok video. Was I telling you about that, Andrew? I can't remember if I told you fine or something. It's out there. Somebody did like a rap song where they were like dissing all the comics.
That went.
Well, when Andrew finds it, then we'll know it.
Pete Davidson was one of them, and I'd heard him on a podcast recently where he was straight up asked about it, and he was like, well, they didn't, like, Singapore asked me not to be too sexual in my act, and he tried to, like, conflate the two.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to get all high and mighty. They did it for the money. They offered him lots of money.
So what number would you have to take in order to not talk about, how the Saudi royal family likes to kill journalists?
Well, I did the asphalt convention in Florida once, and they'll tell you, PG-13, not R. I do.
But PG-13 and not R is very different than in your contractual agreement, understanding that you cannot say anything about the government at all.
Yeah. So here's,
or poke fun at them.
Well, here's how stuff works. If you say, "Hey, Pete Davidson, I'll give you $4,000 to come to the Saudi," whatever. You go, no. If you go, I'll give you $200,000. He'll go, all right.
Now we're talking.
But you can't talk about X, Y, and Z. And he'll go,
Can't talk about how the Saudis funded 9/11, in which his father died.
Right. But if I said I'll give you $1 million, then he'll take the $1 million and not talk about any of the stuff. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Well,
everyone's got a price.
It's apparent. I kind of want somebody to let us know what all these guys got paid. I mean, Bill Burr has defended this, and so has Dave Chappelle. I think the thing that frustrated me the most about Dave Chappelle, though, is that he said, quote, "It's easier to talk here than it is in America."
Well, first off, this thing of like every time I turn on CNN and some blowhard's back there with an afro going, "You know what it's like to be a black man in America." It's like, it seems better than almost anywhere else. Number one, Dave Chappelle, nobody gets more love than Dave Chappelle.
From left, right, and center.
Left, right, center, black and white.
And also, does he not remember, like, when the right came to his defense when he mentioned and had all those bits about, like, trans people in his stand-up comedy, and people wanted Netflix, Reed Hastings at the time, to axe him?
Yes.
And you had people that were more centrist and to the right being like, no, let the numbers speak for itself.
Right.
He was number 1 out of the top 10 on Netflix for, 6 weeks running?
I have... The thing, whether it is Dave Chappelle or whether it's Ilhan Omar or whether it's Trevor Noah.
Ilhan probably would have like kissed the ring of the Saudis, quite literally. They're her people.
Being raised as a black person in a country that is better than any other country for this, and then being rich and successful and adored, and then doing the woe is me bullshit drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And the Ilhan Omar thing, especially when we snatch you out of a shithole and raise you somewhere nice, and then you turn on us, it drives me insane.
I think she would have been fine in that shithole, though, because, you know, she had family that was warlords over there.
Oh, she did?
So if their
okay.
side...
Then she'd be fine.
Allegedly. I'll
All
say
right.
that from legal,
So-
but that's what's been reported.
Everybody who did this did it for money. Okay. And when you start talking about money, people like you watch Dateline or whatever, and they tell these stories of like, he hired a contract killer to kill his 9-month pregnant fiancée. He wanted $3,300 up front and $3,300 bond. You go, you can get, in this country, most people get people killed for way under 10 grand. These guys, I mean, they'll tell you stories. Jon Stewart will tell you stories where like some super billionaire wanted me to play his son's bar mitzvah for $1 million. Wouldn't do it. It's like I'd do it for $1 million.
Because the guy wanted him to say or not say certain things, or just because he's like, that's not enough money for me?
It's just like I don't do that. There are people that are that way. Now, what I'm saying is nobody here got on an airplane for 21 hours for, 11 grand.
They probably sent a private plane and it had a few zeros at the end.
These guys got paid millions, some.
But does that make it okay then? I guess.
No, it makes it makes it understandable because, like I said, let's be honest. And I'm not siding with these people, but I'll give you a straight ahead example. You want to start a company where you make your own custom beach towels.
Okay. I like a nice Turkish towel or quick dry.
A nice quick dry, and you want your logo on it and your dog. What's your dog's name?
Oh, R.I.P. Mr. Guinness.
Mr. Guinness, gone in a better place. But we're going to put a big picture of Mr. Guinness on it, and people are going to love it. And then I go to you and I go, I got it all laid out, and here's the designs and here's what. And then you go, I want these things made in America. And I go, okay, great. But if they're made in America, each unit is going to be $26.
Oh, yes.
Which means you're going to have to sell these beach towels for about $40 each to have any kind of problem. Now, there's a place.
If you want it to be Maha approved organic cotton with no preservatives.
But there's a place in China. There's a place in China that'll bang these things out for $3.75 a piece, and you could sell
Probably
them for
75 cents.
You're going to have a lot of profit. Right. And then all of a sudden, you're not so patriotic anymore. You go,
CCP ain't so bad now.
I'm just saying all of us would think about it.
Yep.
And that's what, and then many go, let's just go with the Chinese company.
I get,
and that's what these guys do.
So your favorite singer, J-Lo, also has performed over there. I think she's performed for the Qataris too, despite how horrifically they treat women. And if she was a woman over there, they wouldn't let her shake her ass.
Right.
But they'd throw her in jail or probably kill her for it under Sharia law. But she didn't go over there and, to my knowledge, change her act. I think the thing that frustrates people about Bill Burr and Chappelle is this shtick of, oh, it's not like they're yelling death to America. And by the way, it's easier to do stand up here than it is in America. And it's the false narrative. It's almost as if they are Baghdad Bob. Right? Remember Baghdad Bob?
Well, sure, I know Baghdad.
And so it's like, it's not
Baghdad
just like
Bob.
they took the check and did the show. They took the check, they did the show, and they're still hawking for the regime. I think that's what kind of gets under my
I think the
skin.
problem with the Bill Burrs and the Chappelles or anybody in general is if you're going to pitch like Aziz Ansari, if you're going to pitch woke bullshit here about people and people being oppressed and violence against women and all the shit you throw up every day, spare us when you go over there and take a check. That's the whole thing. If
Aziz
Andrew
is another
Dice
one, too.
Clay did it, I'd be like, I mean, if I took the money, then I would take the money. But I'm
Yeah.
not railing against oppressive regimes all the time.
I mean, Aziz was almost canceled by the Me Too movement because a chick that gave him a blowjob then decided a couple years later when a reporter called her that she didn't like that he then tried to hit her up for sex later in the night when she slept over.
Mm-hmm.
And my response to that was like, that's your average marriage. But like, once again, people, libertarians, free-minded thinkers, like people that were like, hey, let's not conflate like actual rape and abuse to a bad one-night stand, came to his defense. He came back around, also had a successful Netflix special. It's just like, don't rail on America when America has made you famous and
And
it's
it's
given you
10 times better than wherever you're going to get a
Exactly.
check. That's my whole
Exactly.
thing. But then there are guys like Mark Norman, who I'm looking at, I like, but he's not woke and doesn't rail against America. So I have more forgiveness or more understanding or more something. What I don't like is the rail against oppressive, Trump's an oppressive dictator.
Yep.
We'll go take a check from an oppressive dictator.
Yep.
That's what I like. I have the song, by the way. It's a rap
Oh,
song.
nice.
I just saw it for 10 seconds and I thought, that's not fun.
Yo, it's Billy Burka. Yo, we get rehab money, baby. It's brutal.
Alla shaking Luigi Mangione.
Hey.
In the vibe, I feel Luigi Mangione.
Yo,
We getting rehab money.
yeah.
We getting rehab money. I am a cook, I got a shitty black and white.
Yeah.
I am a cook, I got a shitty black and white.
It's brutal.
We getting rehab money.
Yo,
We getting rehab money.
Now that re-ad money got them selling they souls. If they wasn't telling jokes, they be selling they hoes. They do anything for dollars, even say a prayer to Allah. Balaclavas on their faces just to pack out a show. Whoa, Chris Stefano, I had to let you know this festival might rest your soul. They colder than the Eskimos. The episodes you drop must not be making no sense. Mr. Ross only going cause there's no age of consent. Guess the roast master general demoted to lieutenant. I'm the lord of this land, I'm evicting these Jew tenants. Who didn't expect Tommy Buns to take the Saudi funds? Probably for a Rolex, he don't give the kids a mommy none. Aziz needs this, I'm rooting for him in the end. Cause how could you get canceled for being a horny Indian? I can't believe what I'm seeing is Pete Davidson. Made a lot of money, but I guess he ain't been saving none. Never forget, well I guess he forgot. Now he performing for the animals that took out his pops.
Yo.
Does he even know?
All right, you get it. I was like, this is
Wow.
pretty well
Who did-
crafted
I mean,
fucking rap here. That's
So-
by Crack Amico.
okay, Crack Amico.
Crack Amico.
Maybe you could make one. So comedians like David Cross, Mark Maron, and Shane Gillis, to their credit, have publicly condemned the festival and saying that they wouldn't do it. And another female comedian, Atsuko, had said that she had previously declined the invitation because it included bans on political, religious, and LGBTQ plus content.
Yeah, so,
Bill Burr said it was, quote, one of the top 3 experiences he's ever had.
well,
Crack
The dude-
Amico, by the way. Crack Amico, I'm told.
oh, sorry, Crack Amico. All right.
Has Bill Burr never been to the happiest place on earth? That is Disneyland.
I will
Like,
say, Bill got weird and woke at some point. I don't know what happened, but
I think it was after people like Dave Rubin, our friends Dave and Ben Shapiro, went to his comedy show and it was funny. And then he was like, no, cannot have conservatives like me, must go the other way. And then he went like hardcore the other way and started defending Luigi Mangione.
that to me, by the way, even if it's a joke, is sort of despicable stuff. That stuff drives me nuts.
It wasn't a
When it
joke. I
got-
mean, it was on his podcast. He was pretty freaking serious.
Oh,
It was
okay.
scary.
I just heard the comment on Kimmel. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't hear it on his podcast. There's something broken about that. But anyway, I will say that if you took most human beings and you offered them the amount of money that these guys got paid to do this, almost everyone
Would take it.
would do it. And you would have to, you hypothetically will go, I wouldn't do it, but when you saw the amount of money, you might do it. So I'm not really judging those
you
who
just don't
do.
want him to come back here and shit on America.
I'm saying to everyone, don't be preachy and
Yeah.
take the cash.
Got it.
If you want to be Mark Maron and be obnoxious and preachy and not take the cash, I respect that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that.
And if you want to be Mark Norman and not be preachy and just take the cash, fine. But don't be preachy and take the cash.
It would have been really funny though if so apparently Tim Dillon agreed to it and then he cracked a joke online about how he couldn't say anything as a gay man in Saudi Arabia and then they dropped him from the show, which I actually wondered was that his 4D chess of calling them out for it?
I don't know.
But I wish that he or somebody like Kill Tony had gone over there and just laid into them. Had it been a real roast, that they'd be like, and we'd like to recognize in honorary, in memoriam, Kamal Khashoggi. Everyone, let's have a moment of silence.
Yeah, I mean, also to be fair to them, they probably didn't have an act that had a lot of time dedicated to the royal family in general. So it's like if someone said to me, Adam, you can go to Sacramento and do a show Wednesday, but no talking about the royal family, I'd be like, done and done.
Fine.
I'll just be complaining about my own family.
But if somebody said, hey, Adam, you can come to Sacramento and do a show, but you can't talk shit about Gavin Newsom. Right? It's his backyard.
Oh, man, you got me.
See?
You're right.
You have more morals than you let on.
Yeah. No, I didn't do... the only time I'm trying to think. The only time I really turned my back on money is when Comedy Central wanted to do a 5th season of The Man Show without Jimmy, just me.
Really?
Yeah, and he was going to do late night. And they kept coming to me, offering more and more money each time. Just, you do it alone. You could pick any partner you want. You could pick anyone you want to work with, or you just do it alone. But do another season. Yeah, and they kept taking me out to lunch, and they kept offering more money. Man, I just wouldn't do it.
Why?
I was like, I started the show with Jimmy. Jimmy and I started this show. I think I said that 2 different ways, but it was the same thing. We did 100 episodes, or 100 plus. And we both kind of agreed that we did what we wanted to do, and it worked, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is me and Jimmy's show. It's not my show. And I was also going to go with Jimmy to help him start the late night show. And I realized that I was kind of a huggy blanket or something for him. We shared an office and stuff. He'd probably like me to go with him to help him get things off the ground. He didn't need it, but it was probably would have been a nice gesture. And I also I sort of thought, if I do this without him, it's going to feel a little Benedict Arnold-y or something to him.
Really?
It's probably not going to be. I don't think he would. I don't think he would have ever.
Because he had moved on. It's not like you're like, bye, Jimmy, and then you brought in somebody else.
Yeah, people talk to any woman. It's like, you wanted a divorce. Yeah, now I got a young girlfriend. Yeah, why are you mad? I don't get it. Yeah, you moved on. But no, they can still be pissed.
I could see how having been on a kind of morning show and then on air with multiple people, you have to, an old boss of mine was once it's about respect, camaraderie, and rapport. And you guys had that, and you still have that because you're still friends. It's hard for you to just be like, oh yeah, bring in Ryan Seacrest. He and I can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? You can't, or even bring in some Joe Schmo that nobody was aware of that maybe you liked on the comedy circuit. You can't, it's not going to have that same spark or vibe when it's somebody completely new, not just to the audience, but to you.
Yeah, I probably could have made it work because I knew the template and I was there since the inception, and I understood the show well and all that. And I've had partners, Jimmy was a partner, but Dr. Drew was a partner, Skip Bedell and Catch a Contract was partner. I got how to work with people and have a good kind of working relationship with them. And so I probably could have done something. It would have been fine. When we left, then the producers had to produce the show who never produced the show. And that's why it got bad, because they never produced it. We produced it, we did everything, and so we left. And then the people that were taking credit for producing it actually had to produce it. And then it fell
apart.
Because we were doing it.
Yeah.
That's
well, also the talent left too. So it's the talent and the lack of good production.
Well, yeah, the talent left,
hit the fan.
But Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope took over, and they're both very capable comedic talents. You know what I mean? So they weren't us, but it's not like they got a couple of hacks from the open mic at the Comedy Store to come in there. They just couldn't capture it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there were just two guys who got put together.
I think you see that a lot, like with SNL, right? Like there's the golden era of SNL, and then like the format doesn't change, but all the comedians that roll through do. And is it the political aspect of what's happening in the country? Is it how there's so much entertainment everywhere that people don't just need to tune into one show on a Saturday night? Is it the comedians that are on staff now? Like what kind of makes it work or not work? And it's hard to duplicate something.
Chemistry is not replicatable.
Yeah.
And that we had when we did Loveline as well. It was just two guys, late night radio. It wasn't really, the format wasn't the key. It was just sort of, we had a good chemistry, Drew and I. So anyway, be all that as it may, that's the only time I turn my back on a lot of money.
Well, speaking of a lot of money and dictatorships, have you seen this video that's trending on social media right now about this new bridge in China?
Yeah.
So it so the only thing I could think of is like, I've been to Lofoten, which is bucket list place to go. You feel like you're in freaking Lord of the Rings, and you have to drive around these fjords. And so you just like zigzag, and it takes you 1,000 years to zigzag. Apparently, it used to take people like 2 hours to maneuver through these mountains. And now there's this super bridge that has all of these bells and whistles, and it will take somebody 2 minutes to get from point A to point B. So I don't know how Huajiang Grand Canyon Bridge soars about 2,000 feet above the river, and it is twice as high as the Royal Gorge Bridge, the highest in the United States, which is about 956 feet above the Arkansas River in Colorado. And it's the home to the second highest bridge as well, which is another one I cannot pronounce, y'all. Apparently an ex-user, and then over on TikTok, the people are saying that this bridge is incredible. And a lot of Americans are saying like, hey, maybe it's time that we take note. Someone posted that would take 50 years in the UK and then get canceled before being completed. Another person said on Staten Island, tiny 13-mile long, overcrowded with 500,000 residents, there's only one bridge connecting them to Brooklyn, which is one of New York City's 4 other boroughs.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking about this. It's pretty monumental. It's got a little bit of an Art Deco vibe. It's got a little bit of a Golden Gate Bridge. And it looks like it's sort of loosely modeled on the Golden Gate Bridge. And so I was looking into the Golden Gate Bridge today. And the thing that I thought was incredible was the Golden Gate Bridge started in 1932 and took 4.5 years to build. And then the Hoover Dam started in 1931 and took 5 years to build. So we did the Golden Gate Bridge, and essentially the Golden Gate Bridge and Hoover Dam were started in the 1930s and finished by the middle of the 1930s, if you can picture that world. And then you also think about, like, while people are bragging about finishing this or coming in under budget, so ultimately you build shit so we can use it.
Yes.
I mean, think how much utility, we built the Hoover Dam in 1932 or 31. It was done in 5 years, and we've been using the shit out of it ever since with all the electricity.
Like, to my knowledge, we haven't had to like replace it or patch any holes or anything.
No, and we use the shit out of the Golden Gate Bridge. So, like, what I want to say is, some of this stuff we should build and use. It should be used. We don't think that way. But the Golden Gate Bridge and the Hoover Dam were all done in under 5 years in the 1930s.
Yeah.
And the technology, they dug everything with steam. They use steam as power.
I'm most impressed with like the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know the how long it took to build it. We'd have to like Google that real quick, but just the fact that was a feat at the time, like of using the cables and the stone. Like you said, like how do we put these pilings in the river before it had ever been done before?
They would have to build little dams.
Yep.
People would get the bends going down there
Yep.
when they'd come back up. I mean, it was also a couple Irishmen die along the way. It's all in the name of progress, after all. I mean, so there's a lot of that.
I'm
but,
sure a few Chinese men died building this. The CCP just won't tell us about it.
I'm sure.
In the 4 years.
Yeah, and a couple on our railroads.
But the Brooklyn Bridge and the Hoover Dam do not also feature a theme park or a glass skywalk. It has a high-speed glass elevator. It's like Willy Wonka. And a waterfall.
All I'm saying is wouldn't it be nice to build stuff? Like, wouldn't it be good? It wouldn't be a good thing to build stuff. Like, we could build stuff. We can do it, but we won't allow ourselves to do it.
Now we're focused on building AI, and then the factories that have to hold all of the things to, like, you know.
I mean, it's a California thing for sure, but you couldn't build shit in California. I literally remember where I was sitting in high school in Miss Valdivia's class, looking out the window in like 1982, when somebody was talking about, they're going to build a high-speed rail from Los Angeles to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I've been here for 13 years, and I've been hearing that too.
They're going to go high-speed from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. I drove from Las Vegas yesterday. There is no high-speed rail. There's just a road that gets shitty once you make it into California.
And that's the one that makes the most sense. Like, why do we need to go up to Fresno or Bakersfield? The train, like, put a train from, like, the Valley in LA and then downtown LA to Vegas. Like, you can gamble and drink the moment you cross into Nevada. It makes the most sense.
But here's the whole thing. We get nothing. We can't do anything.
We can't have nice things.
We can't, because we're so mobbed up with the Coastal Commission. I just talked to Grant Cardone about this, but I mean, it's like, in what world are you going to get to build a train in California? It's not going to work. They can't do anything. They have been building from Bakersfield to Merced for, is it
8 years now?
No, it seems like 8 years. It's been like 17 years or something.
Oh, God.
We have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, let's see. Let's have some fun. You ready?
Okay.
Golden Gate Bridge, 4.5 years.
Yep.
Hoover Dam, 5 years. Combine, 9.5 years.
In the 30s.
In the 30s,
Yep.
9.5 years.
Yep.
For both those projects to be completed, although they were building them simultaneously, so even better. But the whole point is we've been working on that train for more than 9.5 years, and we have nothing. What year did the train? It was pitched early, but like, when did they really?
I thought it was
cut
like
the
8
ribbon?
years.
Well, let's see.
So we approved it in 2008. Dumb propositions that everybody votes yes on when they should be voting no.
Right.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Okay, so vote no on 52, guys. Come on. Federal stimulus funds. Oh, great. So we got state funds in 2008, federal funds in 2010. In 2013, construction contracts were awarded. In 2015 was the initial groundbreaking.
All right. I beat you by half a year, though.
Wow. 2015.
It's exactly what I said. I'd love to know what month. It might be exactly 9 of that. But it's the same. We have nothing. We will get nothing. And even if we did, what would be more impactful in your life? All the electricity generated from the Hoover Dam and or the use of the Golden Gate Bridge versus a line 109 miles long from Merced to Bakersfield that you would never.
Ranking?
No one you would know would ever get on that train.
Solar. So number 1, Golden Gate Bridge. Number 2, Hoover Dam. Number 30 in the train.
Right. Even if we did complete it, no one would utilize it.
I've gone across the Golden Gate Bridge like 4 times in my life. No, 3, because actually one time I took a ferry and then I drove over. Okay, 3 times if I'm being honest. That's 3 times more than I will ever take that train. I would never take that train. Brooklyn Bridge took 14 years, by the way. 1869. Right, though? Like,
Right.
when you hear that, 1869?
Yeah.
And the feat, like the engineering feat of that, it's fascinating.
Agreed.
I watched a documentary on it once on the History Channel with my grandfather.
Nice.
It was a long time ago, though, so.
That's some homeschooling right there, bruh. That's what you do at home.
No, I was just
Sit on Pappy's lap. Let me show you about a bridge.
That was my math and science for the day. Something.
All right. So we're idiots. We have nothing. China. Wait, how long did it take China to build that? 4 years.
4 years.
Right. Okay.
With
they
a
can
theme
do
park
stuff.
and a glass elevator
Right.
like you're in Willy Wonka.
All right. We can't have things. We can't do things. Okay. But
But they
here's-
haven't told us how many workers died.
Well, here's my thing. I don't know why it's not bothersome to people that we can't build things or do things. It drives
Because
me.
everybody only cares about this being built in China as well. And
Their
so they
phone.
can sit on
Their
this all
phone.
day long.
I'm only laughing because in the 16 years I've done this podcast, every single person that comes in, they go, you know what's ruining the kids? This.
And the
this.
people, I'm
and then I
sorry.
go, it's a podcast. You have to say phone.
Sorry. Coming from
You've
a-
joined the pantheon of greats. I don't care. Nobody can do it.
Coming from a radio background, I should have known better. But
That's all right.
But my mom watches on YouTube.
We get
so
a
I'm
lot of
used to,
YouTube
you
traffic.
know?
People love your news on YouTube. So you're right. All right.
So
There is something weird, though, about the phone where everyone just describes, they'll hold it up and they go, this.
Because
they never go
you
the
know
phone.
what it means. Have
Yeah.
you seen that trend? It trended a few months ago on Instagram and TikTok, and it was like you take a parent and then you take their kid and then you have them do hand motions for different things.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone was one of them.
Mm.
And kids would hold out their palm as if it was an iPhone or a touch phone.
Mhm.
And I don't know who owns droids, but okay.
Mhm.
And then the like millennial parents like myself would take like the thumb and the pinky and like hold it up, right?
What do they do for roll the window down?
That
in the
too. That was
car?
one of the ones that they did too. So some millennial parents would do like the actual rolling the window down with the handle, like in my grandpa's old Ford.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I don't even know if kids these days know how to
think-
roll down a window.
I don't think anyone gestures to roll down a window anymore because it's sort of unnecessary. There used to be a lot of directions and there was a lot of car-to-car communication. like there was a lot of like you'd go to that thing and they go, your trunk's unlatched. You know, like that we passed a lot
You're
of
like waving at-
information.
your gas
Your
tank
gas
is
flap,
open.
the flap on the gas is open. Like there's a lot of car-to-car communication.
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, we used to do a lot of communicating.
Everybody's like in their car with their CarPlay, listening to you on Spotify or
That's
wherever
right.
they get their podcasts.
The Mr. Microphone commercial, the guy's like, hey, good looking. I'll be back to pick you up in an hour. And in that commercial, they were driving a Mercedes 450 convertible
So you know what car it is.
Could have been a 380. There's already like 5 people inside of a 2-seater. So I don't know how many more people we're going to get in there. But anyway, that was Mr. Microphone.
Oh, the good old days.
Mr. Microphone. You know, the best part about Mr. Microphone is it was like, you know, Mr. Microphone was great because Mr. Microphone, whenever they sell something, they always push it a little too far. Like they go kids parties and they go up there, hey, I'm on the radio. And you're like, all right, I'll buy that.
For those of you listening and not watching on YouTube, Adam just attempted to dance.
I danced. And then they would go, and, you know, the guy'd go down the street. Hey, I'll be back to it. And then they super racistly had a black guy just scatting. He had a boombox and a Mr. Microphone. He was just going down the neighborhood.
The only reason I know about this commercial is because of your liberal friend, Brian Whitman.
Oh, he loves it.
He loved this ad.
But it's fine. Black guy scatting, guy in the Mercedes, fine. Kids party, great. But at the end, they go, even the professionals can use it. It's a woman playing flamenco guitar at an event. It's like, okay, but you don't have Mr. Mike. If you pulled up to play my wedding or my fundraiser or my gala with Mr. Microphone, I would not think of you as a serious performer. Dawson, you've been on stage. Has ever been with a band that had Mr. Microphone up there?
100% of the time.
Oh,
always,
all right.
always,
It's
Mr.
always Mr.
Microphone.
Microphone.
That just speaks to the quality of
No,
Dawson's
even at the
performance.
lowest, nobody would ever do this.
All right, we'll play. Yeah, you'd have your own system, I would guess. All right.
Hey, this Christmas party is getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone.
Hey, what's that?
Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing. Hey, I'm on the radio.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later. You can broadcast in mono or with 2 or more radios in stereo.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing.
Oh, for rehearsing? Well, wait a minute. She rehearsing?
She was performing.
She's
They
performing.
said rehearsing.
And
Okay.
great fun for the whole family. And for only $12.88, they really make great Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
The perfect Christmas gift at Walgreens, Woolworth, Wilco, Osco, Venture, Weebolts, Montgomery Ward.
Montgomery Wards. Yeah, Mr. Microphone. Black dude
Yeah.
scatting.
And also, that's not how stereo works. You don't just put it on a whole bunch of radios.
Well, also, the guy's like, hey, I'm on the radio. It's like, you didn't get the morning show at K-Rock. You are on a radio that has now become a speaker for your shitty voice. You're not on the radio.
The cat call via the radio in the Mercedes.
Now, that's a two-seater that already had 5 people.
Yeah,
in
including
it.
some chicks already. So
Yeah,
he's
she
going
was
to drop
not-
those chicks off and then come back for the other
She was
chick?
not happy that Willie Ames wanted to hit on the chick that was just walking down the street. I got to say, that's a young Willie Ames. That's what he looks like to me. Yeah, and then the black guy was singing Jingle Bell.
They're all singing Christmas music. You know why?
Because
even in
black people love the...
No, because in
Clearable.
1978, they
FM
still
car
didn't have to
radio.
pay for the
Hey, good
licensing.
looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Oh, yeah,
You
she
can
shoved him.
broadcast in mono or with 2 or more radios in stereo.
Professional entertainers.
It's kind
use
of
Mr.
dangerous he was
Microphone for
splashing around the
rehearsing.
plugged-in radio.
I love it that... By the way, I love that they have 9-year-olds watching flamenco. Like, hey, 9-year-olds, you want to go to a bouncy castle? Or do you want to hear flamenco guitar?
She's doing a pretty classy rehearsal there.
I
All
know.
dressed up really nice
I
with
was
her
dressed up.
audience.
Yeah.
Oh, man, those haircuts.
The black guy was singing Christmas songs.
No, they're all singing. The family was
I
singing
know.
fa la 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 la.
Well, that could have been Christmas. Black guys rarely sing about Christmas. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around.
Yeah.
Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Now, let's go full circle, right? This guy in the 60s could have been part of the Black Panther movement, could have been part of the resistance, was never going to sell out to Whitey. But then at some point in 1977, someone went, I'll give you $10,000 to do a Mr. Microphone commercial. And went, give me that. See how it works?
Not the same as Saudi Arabia, though.
Nah, maybe not. But this guy sold out.
Oh, Lord.
Mr. Microphone, scatting away. I don't know if we had a FM. I don't know if I had a radio. This stuff,
You didn't have a radio as like a kid?
well, I got a clock radio for Christmas
Uh-huh.
once.
What did you have it set to wake you up for school days?
We had KMET out here, and we had a station before KMET. Something, it wasn't 100, it wasn't K-Earth. It was, it was something, there was like a pop station, and then it went sort of KMET, and then it was KLS, and then it was K-Rock. Like you kind of graduated up through. But Mr. Microphone wouldn't have been tolerated at the Carolla house because remember, Dawson, the simple rules. If it brings pleasure or takes batteries, it is not allowed in the Carolla house.
Oh,
and
my
this
husband
thing,
has the rule about the ladder.
this took batteries,
batteries.
and brought pleasure. Oh, I see where you're going here. Yeah.
Oh, Lord
All
have
right.
mercy.
We got another story. Do we get to it?
We do. So there is a mayoral race happening up in Seattle. And,
this guy.
And over the weekend, there was a debate. And at the debate, one of the moderators there for Fox 13 in Seattle said, quote, FBI statistics have shown that in 2024, Seattle had the 4th highest overall crime rate compared to other large cities. The crime numbers this year overall seem to be on a better path than last year. But she asked the Democratic mayor, who's currently seated and wants to win again, it's no secret that repeat offenders are driving much of the crime. Is the city too lax on repeat offenders? And here is his ingenious response.
The criminal system has had a disparate impact on black and brown communities. Let me lead with that. So when this person is committing 6 or 7 crimes, I don't know his or her story. maybe they were abused as a child. Maybe they're hungry. So my remedy is to find their life story to see how we could help first. I have no desire to put them in jail, but I need to protect you, and that's the calibration that we have.
So what's he going to do to protect me? What is this, like Les Mis?
He's going to sit down. He's going to sit down and figure if they're hungry, and then he's going to get their life story and their bio and see if they were deprived of Mr. Microphone as a youth like I am and still angry.
Listen, this is my problem with politics in America is you have somebody like that I think he's a fake empath, but that's another conversation for another day. They are empathetic, and I think that they do care about like people's story and where they came from and their lived experience, all the words that they use. And then people on the right are just like, how do we fix this immediate problem? And I think that actually both left and right should come together and be like, their story does matter, but we can't fix that after they've murdered somebody on the streets of Seattle. So let's work on getting that guy behind bars and going into the community from which he was raised and trying to fix that community at the ground level too. Like, can we do both?
I would be much more apt to listen to any of these sort of race hustling bullshit artists if they said this impacts the black and brown community, the African American communities impacted disproportionately when it comes to incarceration because their dads are absent at such a high level that there's more criminality in that community. We should look at ways to see if we can repair that to prevent them forever getting to the pipeline that takes them from the school to the prison. If they ever said that, then I would go, cool. I now agree with that person. Why? They go, this 13-year-old running the streets of Chicago at 4 a.m. and firing guns at a cop. Now he's killed. He's dead. It's like, okay, what 13-year-old is running around with a gun at 3 a.m. in the streets of Chicago? And the answer is one whose dad isn't at home. If you cowards ever wanted to address that, I would get on your side, but you won't ever address that because you feel like that's your constituency and you'll lose their votes. So you just talk about how the system impacts them. Well, yeah, if you commit the lion's share of the violent crime, then you will be the lion's share of the prisoners. That's how that works. By the way, it's a two-way street. There's not a lot of Jews incarcerated because they have a disproportionately low amount of violent crime that they engage in. So whoever engages in the most crime shall be the most represented in prisons.
Unless you're in Seattle and he just wants to sit down and hear your story.
That's right, because you may be hungry. We don't know if this person's hungry.
Well, it turns out you get 3 square meals a day in prison.
But the other thing these guys are, and they never really cop to it, but they are racist. And the reason they're racist is when you hear them say things like, you hear the mayor or the governor of Chicago or Illinois say, when you put these National Guard troops on the ground, it can scare and agitate some of these people and they'll act out, or this guy's hungry and he's acting out, or this guy is upset and he's acting out, or he feels scared or fearful, so he lashes out. It's like, that's how zookeepers talk about animals. That's not how you talk about human beings.
Yeah.
You go...
Or a toddler.
You go, who put the... So you go, an alligator ate another peacock. And then you go, the zoo people goes... They don't go, what's wrong with the alligator? They go, who put the alligators in with the peacocks? Like, that's really what they're doing. If you get Pritzker talking about... If seeing someone in a uniform agitates you, upsets you to the point where you have to then throw a punch or a bottle at that person, and you now are talking about animals at this point. And any woman whose dog, what the number one answer for dog biting somebody's? He was scared. He didn't know. He thought you were here to attack me. Like, you walk into a woman's house, to drop something off. He's got a little yappy dog and the dog nips at you. And then a woman always goes, oh, he thought you meant me harm, or he was scared. It's always he's scared. They talk about their cities like you talk about a pet. They're agitated and they're scared, and you coming in makes them upset, and it agitates them, and then they lash out because they can't help
and they're
it.
lashing out isn't their fault; it's your fault for
Well,
being there.
you
in the first
put the
place.
alligators in with the peacocks, and the little Shih Tzu was scared. That's how they talk about it. This guy's a fucking racist.
You could also say, like, as a woman, we get the what was she wearing argument.
Right. That's
Like,
what this is. He
right?
was hungry.
And I thought that the left wasn't for that argument, and yet they use it all the time.
But also, this guy's a world-class dope. And by the way, people get killed because of your dopey-ass policy. And it's on you at a certain point. All your goodwill.
He said he didn't quite understand the question and that he didn't believe the FBI stats. FBI stats that came out, I think, prior to it was prior to Trump, like, even being in office.
He didn't understand the question post when he got into trouble, or
he called the question interesting, and noted that he was not exactly sure how to answer, and he didn't understand the use of the word lax, and then he gave that shitty response.
Well, like laxative in that case. But look,
What does he get paid? Like, should I go up and run for mayor of Seattle? It's a pretty place.
Is he like affirmative action DI hire? Like, is he like half Eskimo or something? And they're like, oh, we got to get one of these.
Seattle's such a pretty city. Like, it deserves better.
He's a dope, number one. Also, it's simple. You don't know anyone who's a violent criminal. It's a very small percentage of people doing repeat. It's a super small
when you're
number
turns out when you don't imprison them, they come back and do it again.
And so it's this little group of people causing all the problems. So just get the little group incarcerated and check into the life and the dads and the home.
Yeah.
But they never do that. They just stop. They go, this impacts the African American. Would you like to know why? Or is it just everything's just a racist cop? Even though I don't even know. It's rare that I see a white cop in L.A. Tons of women and tons of everything else. Bruce Harrell, the retard, is running Seattle. And that's why all these places are turning to shit. Sad, because, I used to go there and enjoy it. Is he something? What is his, I wonder what he is. He looks something, but I don't know what that is.
You're not allowed to say
Dad
that.
is black, mom is Japanese.
Oh, really? Oh, good. We'll vote for him. He must have the answers. Dad is black and mom is Japanese. Good. We haven't had one of them. That'll be the first Blackanese we've ever voted in. And then we can all pat ourselves on the back, and he can be retard who does a shitty job. But I bet you don't have... Look, I know Seattle. They're not just going to get a white guy and put him in there. They got to get a Blackanese in there and put him in. All right. You got one more?
Oh, yeah. Your favorite gal.
Mm-hmm.
Over on MSNBC. Well, I guess the ex-host over on MSNBC. Joy Reid went on a profanity-laced tirade against Vice President JD Vance, calling him a racist a-hole. Here we go.
I will start by saying, JD Vance, since you're paying attention to me, fuck you. And I say that on behalf of every black woman who heard you call Kamala Devi Harris the trash. You calling a woman whose mother came to this country to do cancer research and to try to cure cancer, who lost her mother, not that many years ago, whose mother is the same exact racial identity as your wife. The fact that you would stand in front of a crowd of mainly white MAGAs and call that woman, who is the vice president of the United States, the highest elected female politician, political official in our nation's history, call her the trash for
Well,
this
hold on,
election.
pause it. Was she elected? I mean, didn't they say we need a black chick to be vice president?
Well, technically she was elected because on the ballot it says Biden-Harris.
Okay.
That's like Bush Cheney. Cheney was elected vice president of the United States.
Yeah, but it's weird. I always just think of him as, I think of
add-on.
Bush as being elected, and then you tap your, like.
The guy or the gal, yeah.
Well, I mean, Trump was elected and Mike Pence came along for the ride, I guess. I know. Okay, elected. All right.
Like, fuck you forever. There's nothing you could ever say that I would take as advice, friendly or otherwise. I don't need advice from you. You need to learn how to be a decent human being, and you need to apologize to Kamala Harris for what you said. So let's start with that. The second thing is JD Vance. I did not say that my mother said this country was not a land of opportunity for people like us. You need to go back and listen to the interview. What I probably said, I would have to pull up the interview. But what I will say again is that my mother came to this country as an immigrant and believed in the sales pitch of what America says that it is, that it calls itself this sort of land of opportunity, right? But what happens is if you are Black, you immediately come here, and it isn't long before you are treated the same way that America treats all of its Black citizens, as second-class citizens, as people who need to, quote unquote, be grateful for white people apparently giving them opportunity. See, in your statement, you forget the part that you believe for yourself, that white people earn their opportunities, that they create opportunity, that when they get a good job or get a big house or get a good salary, it's because they earned it. You, because you are a racist asshole, believe that Black people are given opportunity by white people. So you can't accept that my mother, who became a PhD holding college professor, earned her opportunity to be a professor. You think that someone white gave her that opportunity, or that she stole it from, or, Charlie Kirk's version is she stole it from somebody white.
Physically took the diploma and ran?
So that rant, by the way, over on Substack was in response to JD Vance talking about her on X. He said, quote, Joy Reid has had such a good life in this country. It's been overwhelmingly kind and gracious to her. She is far wealthier than most, yet she oozes contempt. My honest, non-trolling advice to Joy Reid is that you'd be a much happier person if you just showed a little gratitude. It is kind of ironic that her hat says petty.
Yeah, well, a little gratitude is the key to happiness.
Act happy, be happy, says our buddy Dennis Prager.
There is a clip that Andrew can find. It's in Love and Death. And you've not seen this movie.
No.
It's a Woody Allen movie.
Okay.
It's his funniest movie, but it's forgotten. People don't see it. They've seen many other Woody Allen movies, but Love and Death is his funniest movie.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere, Diane Cannon is married to a herring merchant. And there's a sort of middle of the movie where they're at her home, and all this guy does is talk about herring. That's all he does. And he bores everyone to death with his herring talk. Mm-hmm. And then I realized she does that, but with race. Every time she opens her mouth, it's something about white people and Black people, and you don't think, and you troll from, and we invented, and then you took. Like, it's got to be a bizarre way to go through life, to just everything's through the filter of race. Every time a microphone heats up, it's something with race in 2025 when no one gives a shit and you're fine and you're rich. Mm-hmm. Like, everything has to be seen through the filter of race.
Also,
and it's
just
like
to say that JD Vance was saying that Black people get handed things by white people. Like, I didn't read that anywhere in his quote.
I don't know who said that.
Like, it's like she made up the thing that he said.
I will replace. Just think about her speaking and just sort of replace race with herring. And that'll be Joy Reid's Race on Debt. Here we go.
Naturally, the war affects the herring industry. The ports are blockaded, and fresh shipments of the herring become more difficult to obtain. And of course, when something hurts herring, it hurts me. You see, what people don't understand is that there are hundreds of types of herring, each with its own interesting history. Sonia, are you okay?
Oh, yes.
But I've talked long enough. Why don't you two play, as I have got some important business to attend to?
Capital idea. All right. That's his lover. All that guy does is talk about herring.
She looks so pretty and young there.
Well, that's what the 60s were for. But
that was her lover with those teeth?
That is Joy Reid with race.
Yes.
Whatever he does. That guy's character just talked herring and bore the shit out of everybody.
It's almost like kind of like we don't want the comedians to go to Saudi Arabia and then come back and shit on the United States because it's like, no, you've made your bed, lie in it. Like, you can't say we're horrible after going and taking money from the royal family over there. It's almost like do we keep talking about Joy Reid talking about race? Like, is JD Vance feeding into... I have this theory about AOC, too. Like, would AOC be such a thing if people in conservative media didn't talk about her all the time? Like, maybe JD Vance should just start ignoring Joy Reid so then we don't have to talk about Joy Reid talking about race all the time.
Right, because there's nothing else to her.
Exactly. That's her shtick, and it's only her shtick because she can rant and curse out the Vice President of the United States, which also just goes to show that Dave Chappelle... pretty dang easy to speak freely here in the United States compared to Saudi Arabia.
Because I know. I always love the tyrannical dictator thing because you start talking shit into a microphone, even Mrs. Microphone, about a tyrannical dictator, and you get rounded up pretty fast.
Uh-huh.
If there's actual tyrannical dictators.
Or if you tweet something in the UK.
That's right. All right. I am going to be at Rodney's in New York doing stand-up and a live pod there, and Kat Timp's going to join me.
That's
and
fun.
Also Dr. Drew will, for the pod, and Drew, for the first time ever, is going to try stand-up.
What?
4 minutes of stand-up
I
when
might
we
need
do
to
the
fly out
stand-up
for that
show.
one.
Yeah. Then Soul Joel's in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. That'll be October 10th and 11th. Just go down to KRAUSS.com for all the live shows.